Hey guys, it's LEGO Boy Z3. Today I have an unboxing from the Cubicle. So today we're going to be opening up this package here that was sent by the Cubicle. Not really sure what is in it. We have a business card, of course. And we have... a MoYu box. Alright, I have no idea what this is. Looks like it says GuoGuan. Okay, so I kind of know what this is now. Looks like we have a stand in the box, and we have a tensioning tool, standard screwdriver. Also, we have a picture of Drew Brads and MoYu, and we also have a picture of someone else. Also, secret compartment here in the box. We have an instruction booklet and also two little plastic things. Not really sure what this is for yet. Anyway, getting to the cube, I believe this would be the GuoGuan YueXiao Pro. And so I'm actually not really sure a whole lot about this cube. I haven't tried the original GuoGuan YueXiao, but it was a pretty good cube back like a year ago. So just trying it out here. Honestly, it feels a little tight. I kind of like it that way though. It's funny, most cubes when I get them, it just kind of feels like I need to tighten them unless they're going to explode. But this one actually feels really nice, tensioned right out of the box. But anyway, after playing with this cube for a few minutes, I can say that I actually really like it. The best way to describe the feel is just that it's really solid. Like, it feels like a really well-made cube. It feels like it definitely does cost $20 because that's how much it costs. Just turning one side of this cube, you can tell that it's very smooth, but not in like a buttery smooth way, more of like a hard plastic rubbing against itself kind of way, which is a feeling that I really like. I don't really like the buttery smooth feeling. The really solid feeling is interesting. It's almost like the solid feeling of a blocky cube. This cube isn't really blocky, but it kind of feels like that sort of feeling. And that just makes this cube super stable and controllable, which is a feel that I really do like in my cubes. Just taking a look at the mechanism here, that piece came out pretty easily. Looks like we have some pretty interesting design, just kind of these weird ridges along all the pieces. Same thing on the corners, really. But if we actually open up one of these pieces here, we actually see something really interesting that I've been wanting to see on a 3x3 speed cube for a really long time. We actually have a nice little slot there for a magnet that you can just slip a magnet into. It looks a little small for a 4x2 magnet, but I think you could probably fit one in there. You'd probably have to glue it a little bit, but it would probably still fit. I'm not sure if you're really supposed to put magnets in this cube yourself. I think the main reason for that is they're actually making a mass-produced magnetic version, but it is still pretty cool. They've been doing that for a long time in things like Pyraminx's and Cubes, just having little slots for the magnets. And it's nice to see that on a 3x3. It looks like we have the type of core that a lot of new cubes have, with just kind of these floating pieces. There's no real stalks to the center pieces, they just kind of float here. And that makes tensioning pretty difficult, but that's actually what these pieces are for. I'm not exactly sure how they're used. Okay, I see. So you stick it in here and you can put the two opposing center pieces on it like this. And I think you can do that on the other side too. Fits nicely right into the core. And that allows you to nicely tension both sides of the cube. And so you can just kind of pull the centerpiece off and make sure that both those tensions are equal. That's something that's pretty difficult with a cube like this that doesn't have center stalks because you can't really judge that distance very well. So yeah, this makes it a lot more convenient. And next up, let's just see what we have in here. 2x2 and a 3x3. It looks like they have interesting packaging. They have like this little window, kind of in a weird shape. It says GuanLong 2017, and I think GuanPo 2017. So I think this is a new version of both the GuanLong and the GuanPo, which is YJ's budget line of 2x2s and 3x3s, pretty much all puzzles. So just opening them up here, looks like we have them in white. Turning the GuanLong, right off the bat, it feels a lot more like a real speed cube than the original GuanLong. Right here is an original GuanLong. I have this one pretty loose, but it just kind of feels like it's trying to fall apart in my hands. It's not really being stable. The original one is just super blocky and just not a great mechanism for speed cubing. Right out of the box, this one feels a lot better. I mean, it feels like almost like a mid-range speed cube. I mean, I'm locking up a little bit on it, but it feels much more stable. It feels like it's a lot more flexible in a good way. So I believe kind of the main selling point of this cube will be that it's cheap. It's not really released yet, so I'm not really sure what the final price will be. But if it's like around $4 like the original GuanLong, this is going to be like the best cube that you can get for $4. I believe the MF3RS is also a pretty good budget speed cube. I believe that one's about $5. But depending on the price of this cube, it could be a pretty good offering in the budget range. The cube itself is interesting. I mean, it's really fast at this tension. It kind of seems like it wants to lock up quite a bit, which is expected for a cheap cube. It's really fast. Personally, I think tightening it, or at least putting some lube in it, would help with a lot of those issues. But yeah, it just feels like a good update of a good budget cube. So yeah, I kind of like it. Next up, for the 2x2. I don't know, it's definitely fast, it feels pretty stable, but it kind of just feels like you're locking up quite a bit on it. Like, doing a turn like this just kind of locks up. These pieces kind of get misaligned a little bit. I don't know, let's just do a solve on it and see. I'm terrible at 2x2, by the way. So, do that. I don't know, it doesn't feel that bad for a like pretty cheap 2x2. I'm assuming it's going to be budget like $4 or $5. I think I have tried the original GuanPo 2x2, and I think this is definitely an improvement on it. Maybe not a main speed cube, but it definitely is pretty good for a budget cube, like maybe for modding. It definitely feels very solid, like it feels like it could be a very expensive cube. Unlike this other GuanLong, it feels pretty cheap, just like the original GuanLong. But this one just feels like super solid. Anyway, I think if you could fix like the minor catching, it might even just be my turning style. Maybe you just need to tighten it a little bit. I think it could definitely be a very solid budget 2x2. Anyway, this was actually a really interesting unboxing. If you're looking into getting a new main, especially if you like really controllable, stable cubes, just that feel really solid, I definitely look into this cube, like maybe once the reviews come out. And these cubes are really great. I'll probably just use them for things like modding, but also if you're on a strict budget, I think they could probably be a pretty good budget speed cube, just for beginners. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!